DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as DreAllDay, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is, we are on part 2 of our ongoing series here of how to protect your mental health as you age. So we already talked about protecting your physical health, and we already started this series with yesterday's episode on protecting your mental health. So all we're going to do here is pick up right where we left off, picking up on part number 2 and point number 4. Number 4, laugh. It is said that the average child laughs somewhere between 300 to 400 times per day. 300 to 400 times per day, the average child laughs. You know how many times the average adult laughs? 15 to 20 times per day, if even that. This is one of the reasons why people get old. We get old because we get, as I told you in the physical series, we get old because we get stiff, because we stop moving. We don't move around. We are not mobile. We're not pliable. We're not flexible. One of the things that keeps us pliable, flexible, and young is laughter. It loosens us up. Can we agree? Can all of you agree that when you get people laughing, you get them in a positive, fun, happy mood, that the whole situation is less tense and it's looser, and people are more open when they're laughing than when they're being super serious? Regardless of what the circumstance is and regardless of what you're working on, you can get people laughing. You have a better chance of moving smoothly through whatever it is that you're trying to get done. One of the reasons we get old is we stop having fun, we stop laughing, we stop enjoying what we are doing, and we become so fixated on doing the thing that we forget to enjoy the fact that we're doing the thing. And then 10 years go by, we don't even realize it because we didn't enjoy not 1 minute of it because we're so focused on working. Children, on the other hand, tend to fixate on the playing parts and the enjoyment of the thing as opposed to simply the doing of the thing for the purpose of doing it. They actually have fun while they're doing it. And what happens is, as we grow older, we get socialized into believing that we need to get more serious, quote unquote, about what we're doing, and we stop laughing and we stop having fun while doing it. You can have fun and enjoy what you're doing and laugh at the same time that you're serious and getting the stuff done. For example, my son, 2 years old as of this recording, when he has a new toy or something like that, or he just has a toy period, or he's asking me to grab a toy for him, I'll get the toy for him and I'll say, son, what are we going to do with this toy? Or what are you going to do with this toy? Or we're going to go outside, I'm going to go to the park. And he says, well, I want to bring this with me. And I say, well, why do you want to bring that thing with you? His answer is always the same. His answer is, I'm going to play with it. That's all he says. I'm going to play with it. He says, I want to get that new toy. I'm going to get that toy off the shelf, Daddy. I say, well, son, why do you want to get that toy off the shelf? What do you want to do with it? He says, I want to play with it. He answers almost like matter of factly, like, why are you even asking the question? That's the whole point, is to play with it. He wants to play with things. That's what kids do. They just want to play. That's their focus. Play, fun, enjoying themselves. And the older we get, we forget about play, we forget about having fun, and we forget about our enjoying ourselves, and we are focused so much on doing the thing, again, instead of enjoying the act of doing the thing. And remember, folks, we can do both of these. You can enjoy what you're doing while being serious about it. And that's the reason why laughing matters so much. As a matter of fact, a book that I'm going to be working on soon. I just finished one book that you'll be hearing about soon. Then there's another one that's next on the menu after that. Then the one after that is a book where I'm going to be taking a lot of my favorite stories from over the years. These are funny stories, things that I've experienced in my own life, and I'll be putting them into one book. And just today, I thought of one that I hadn't thought of before, and I added it to the list. Right now, I have 27 stories that are going to go in this book, and this is going to be probably the most fun I had writing a book. Is going to be this one right here, because I'm going to laugh so much and just writing it and just writing out these stories that is going to be really fun. Speaking of such, now, if you want to protect your mental health as you age, you need to find more enjoyment and more laughter in your life. Simple as that. Even if that means watching some comedy shows on Netflix, or talking to people who make you laugh, or like I just explained, writing a book of stories that have already made you laugh and then just writing them down to share with other people. All of these things will reduce stress. It will boost your mood. It fights off anxiety and it fights off depression. It lowers blood pressure. It promotes relaxation, it boosts your immune system, and it increases your resilience in dealing with challenges and setbacks. Laughter does all of those things. All of these positive health benefits you get from laughing, but if you don't laugh at all, you get none of these benefits. So this is the reason why laughter matters so much. And again, go talk to somebody who makes you laugh. Go remember stories of things that have made you laugh. Go watch some TV shows that will make you laugh. Anything that will just make you laugh more, it'll make you feel younger. An old curmudgeon is a person who just gets older, they get stiffer, they're not moving around, they don't see any brightness or sunshine in their lives, and they're always serious about everything. Who wants to hang around that person? The answer is nobody. Moving on, point number 5. Today's topic, once again, is how to protect your mental health as you age. Number 5, move. All right, similar to what we talked about in the physical health series, you need to move to protect your mental health. Movement is life, folks. You stop moving, you start dying. That's it. You must move your body to keep your mind active. It's hard to get good ideas and stimulation in the mind if you are sitting in one spot, not moving, not doing anything. Your brain eventually takes a rest because you aren't doing anything. Your brain wants to go to sleep and it wants to not do anything because you aren't doing anything. When you physically move, you get more ideas. When you physically move, you think more clearly. When you physically move, you can solve problems that you've been trying to fix for the last 3 hours sitting still at your desk. As soon as you start moving around, the ideas start coming to you. The body and the mind are connected, ladies and gentlemen. You have to move your body to keep your mind active. And if you are not physically moving around, it's hard to get into your peak mental state. I get into my peak mental states usually when I'm working out and I'm not even thinking consciously about anything. I'm just moving my body. And because I've done all this conscious work when I'm not working out, now my subconscious mind can go to work when I'm not consciously thinking. It finally gets a chance to get through to me. And that's when I get into my peak mental states, because I'm moving physically and I allow my my subconscious mind to work on what I was thinking about when I was in a conscious thinking state. That's how you get into those peak states. But you got to move. If you never move, you never position yourself to even get into the peak state. So you have to physically move around. You may notice, if you ever played a sport, you'll notice very well that we get into our peak states usually when we have a combination of both mental and physical activation happening at the same time. Some of you want to get into your peak mental state, but you're never moving around, so it's impossible for you to get there. The body and the mind must be in a certain zone in order to get into a peak mental state, not just one or the other. So you have to find ways and you have to find reasons to move, even if it means, again, taking a walk every morning. Maybe you like playing golf. Maybe you like doing something, anything that gets you physically active. Whatever it is, you have to consistently do it. If your body breaks down, it's hard to stay in a good physical or mental mind state. This is the reason why I exercise. People who exercise on a regular basis, you should be doing some form of exercise every day. One of the reasons that you do it is to get yourself into a peak mental state. And again, you don't have to be doing something super rigorous or crazy. So you don't have to be going to a boxing gym or playing basketball or getting into competitions in order to get into a peak mental state. I told you how there are women out there who will do 30, 60, 90 minutes of yoga every single day. Why do they do that? They do it because getting into that practice puts them in a peak mental state. They feel their best mentally when they're doing those certain things physically. This is why both of these things are connected. And if you want to protect your mental health, you must have a physical routine and a physical activity that you do to get you there. To get into a peak state, you need the physiology. What are you doing with your body? What story are you telling yourself? What are you focused on? And how are you talking to yourself? All of these things need to be combined at the same time. And again, when your body is not moving, it's really hard to get yourself mentally into the state that you want to be in. You got to be doing both at the same time. This is why you'll notice any of you who does any type of presenting, like professional speaking, or you do sales presentations, often before a presentation, I see a lot of speakers, even when I'm not the one speaking, but I see other people speaking, before they get on the stage, they are physically moving around. They're pacing back and forth in the hallway behind the stage, or they're in their dressing room moving themselves around and getting themselves going, jumping up and down, whatever it is they need to do, playing some music, hyping themselves up, whatever, is that they move themselves around physically so they can get into the state they need to be so that they can deliver their message in a certain energetic zone that allows the message to get through to the people who they are called on to serve. And how you say something matters just as much, if not more, than what you say. So the energy matters just as much, again, if not more, than the actual words that you're providing. Moving on to point number 6. Today's topic, once again, is how to protect your mental health as you age. Number 6, get some sunlight, the actual sun. The sun provides vitamin D. And vitamin D helps produces vitamin D production in your body, because your body naturally produces it, but being in the sun makes you produce more vitamin D. And what vitamin D does is it keeps your bones, teeth, and immune system working well. Getting sunlight improves your mood, Any of you who's ever been stuck in the house for a long time, they call it cabin fever. When you're just stuck in the house, you got to get outside and get some actual fresh air and some sunlight. Even if it's freezing cold outside, you got to get the sun hitting you directly with no filters. You need that because it improves your mood. It regulates your sleep because your circadian rhythm, your body knows it is daytime and it'll be able to figure out when is it going to be nighttime since it's daytime now. But if you're never outside, it feels like it's nighttime all the time. And then your body is all thrown off. Your sleep patterns are all thrown off because of this. So it improves your mood, regulates your sleep, reduces blood pressure, and it enhances your brain function. Your brain simply works better when you're getting sun. So you keep a human being out of the sun for a long time and people tend to report a lowered mental state. Your mood is not as good. And it can result in depression, different forms of depression when you're not getting enough sun. I remember the first place that I traveled playing basketball professionally, I was playing overseas, was in Kaunas, Lithuania in 2005. And I remember for about a 6-week period in Kaunas, I did not see the sun at all for 6 weeks. You didn't see the sun. I'm not saying there wasn't light outside. We had daytime and nighttime, but I did not see the sun. Reason I didn't see the sun because during this period of the year, it was very overcast. So every day there were so many clouds in the sky that the sun was blocked. You had the light, but you didn't actually see the sun. There was nowhere where you could stand in the sunlight. You know how sometimes it's, the temperature is okay outside, but you can stand in the sunlight and you feel warmer just standing in the sun as opposed to standing in the shade. Well, it was like this. In Kaunas, it was just shade everywhere for 6 straight weeks. And it was just total gray. And I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing those of you who live in the northwestern part of the country, I'm guessing that what it feels like to live in a place like Seattle or Vancouver. I couldn't do it. All right, that's why I'm in the opposite end of the country. That's why I'm in sunny South Florida because it's sunny here all the time. It's actually, the day that I'm recording this is actually kind of windy and rainy today, but that's okay because I know it's going to be sunny again tomorrow. So I need sun in my life. I like it being sunny. I like it being hot. I like being uncomfortably hot. I'd rather be uncomfortably hot than uncomfortably cold. And I do not like it being rainy and gray because it lowers my mood. And I also can't hang outside when it's rainy and gray. If it's rainy, I can't be outside. I can hang outside in the gray, but I'd rather hang outside in the sun, personally. Even with this suit on, it's getting hot in the suit. I'll still rather be outside when it's hot. All right, no gray, no rain. I don't want that. And you do too. You need the sun in your life. I'm not saying you have the same preferences as me, but you need the sun in your life no matter where you live. All right, especially as you get older, do not let your age be an excuse to never leave the house. Now, some of you have different temperature preferences than me, different weather preferences. So some of you live in Seattle and you love it like that. You love to go outside when it's rainy and cool and have a hot cocoa or tea or coffee with you, and that's your thing. Cool. You stay up there and keep that area populated. I'm gonna stay down here in South Florida doing what I'm doing. Either way, both me and you need to go outside because your mental health needs it. Your mind needs to get outside so it can, again, get all these positive benefits that I'm giving you here. And if you want to keep your mind sharp, you have to give your mind the things that will help it stay sharp. Recapping today's class, which is part 2 of our short mini series here of how to protect your mental health as you age. Number 4, laugh. A child laughs somewhere between 300 to 400 times a day. Average adult laughs somewhere between 15 to 20 times a day. And many adults, I say, don't laugh at all. The way they conduct themselves, I'm thinking they probably haven't laughed in a week. Some adults out there, some of you fit this description. You need a reason to laugh, go watch a comedy show. Number 5, move. Similar to what we talked about in the physical health series, you must move your body to keep your mind active. They are connected, your body and your mind. You're not physically moving around. It is damn near impossible to get into a peak mental state when you are not physically moving. You must move to get into that state. Number 6, get some sunlight. Sun provides vitamin D. It helps regulate your circadian rhythm. It boosts your immune system. It staves off depression. When you're in the dark and only in artificial light and not getting any actual sunlight for too long, it starts to depress you. All right, this is the reason why people who are incarcerated, for example, if they don't get access to sunlight, it starts to depress them because they're in this artificial light. The light that you get from a light bulb is not the same as the light that you get from the sun. It is a natural light that comes from the sun. You need that natural light as part of your physical health. All that being said, folks, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Let's get your physical health, your mental health, your strategies, your systems, your accountability, and your execution all aligned so you can implement and achieve the outcomes that you want to achieve, because this is a results and outcome-based business. I will coach you on this directly to make it happen. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre, all